Yo. What's up, guys? It's the John Gasm coming at you with another Cartoon Conspiracy. Those things that you guys have been absolutely craving lately. You guys have absolutely been digging these. I've been loving the support. My subscribers have gone up about 50 people since I started doing these, which I want to thank all of you people who have been subscribing and passing these on lately, because if it weren't for you, I wouldn't be at 500 subscribers. That's right, bitch. Get back in the kitchen where you belong, Jenna Marbles. Me and my army of 500 are coming after you next. Even though she's got like an army of 1,000,000. Let me tell you, Saruman would be impressed. In all seriousness though, before I moved on to the conspiracy theory, I just wanted to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for all the support that you've been showing lately. I'm absolutely digging it, and as a result, I'm trying to make videos a little more often than I have been in the past. I hope you are not only subscribing for the conspiracy theories, but I hope you're also subscribing for some funny, offensive content, which, trust me, I'm working on being more offensive. Just hang in there. Trust me though, these conspiracy theories are going to be coming at you for a long time, so just sit back, because you guys are in for a treat. So the show that I wanted to do for you guys today was a little bit more girly. You guys might remember it. It's a little show called Powerpuff Girls. Now I know what you're thinking. John, that show should only be played in the kitchen because that's where all the women are. That's a girl show. I don't bleed from my vagina once a month. Listen, I'm sorry, and do you know what? To be completely honest, even though I was embarrassed of it, I thought this show was awesome when I was a kid. Bubbles, I don't care if she's still in kindergarten, I still got a crush on that bitch. It's the big eyes and the low intelligence, I got a thing for the two, and the blonde hair, I mean, she's my kryptonite. I love you, Bubbles. Alright, I'm gonna stop that, and I'm gonna do the theory now. I'm gonna drop this bomb on you right now, friends. The Powerpuff Girls do not have superpowers. The truth about the Powerpuff Girls is they're just a regular set of triplets. Now let me remind you that I did not write this theory. This is just what a lot of people on the internet believe, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of believe it too. So first off, the mom has divorced the dad, or most likely she's dead. It never actually says in any of the theories, but being that she never makes an appearance in any of the episodes thus far, she's most likely dead. I'm also going to drop this bomb on you. The father isn't even a scientist. He's just a regular pharmacist, and the girls believe that just whatever he's doing with all of the medicine is some sort of scientific work. That's why he's always in the basement where the little girls are not allowed. Though he's telling them he's working on experiments, he's actually experimenting with different types of medication and getting high. Now Mojo Jojo, you know, the one, I know you remember Mojo Jojo. He was like a green monkey guy. He was always trying to fight the girls. He was like their main nemesis. Mojo Jojo is actually their half-brother, most likely related to them on their mom's side. He's quite a bit older than they are too. He's probably closer to my age, you know, like upper teens, like anywhere 16 through 20, probably not much older than that. He finds the girls sexually appealing, so he's always trying to get with them. Like all of the scenes where he's trying to capture them or destroy them is basically metaphors for him trying to capture and rape them. That's why all of the adults in the show are like, hey, stay away from Mojo Jojo. It's not because they're scared of him, it's because they don't want the little girls to be molested or hurt, and they're assuming that this is why. Remember, the whole show is through their imagination. It's how they perceive the things around them. So just keep that in mind while I'm explaining this. Now for the Rowdy Rough Boys, I actually found two different theories about them. If you remember, the Rowdy Rough Boys are basically just the guy evil version of the Powerpuff Girls. Now I don't know which one of the theories I believe more. I feel like they're both reasonable, so this is up to you guys to believe what you want. So instead of creating the Rowdy Rough Boys like the show says that he did, he actually found 3 little boys playing at the playground. Like I said, Mojo Jojo's kind of a weird guy. Just hanging out at playgrounds and shit. How I spend my weekends. So he finds the 3 little boys, most likely around the school playground or something, and he thinks, hey, these little boys are kind of cute, so maybe I can use them to lure the Powerpuff Girls, or his sisters, to me. So he thinks that the way that the boys are going to go about this is the little girls are just going to have crushes on them and then they'll lure them to Mojo Jojo. But that's not how little guys react to liking little girls, if you remember. I know I wasn't the only one. When I had a crush on a girl when I was little, I was usually kind of mean to her. I'm not saying these little girls had crushes on me. They were like, alright, well, go away, you big-headed jackass. I don't like you at all. So that's what the little boys ended up doing. Instead of being seductive, like, I don't know how a kindergartner would be seductive, but instead of doing that, they just ended up beating up the girls. So then Mojo Jojo was like, alright, well, maybe this can work out for me. Maybe they'll beat them up, and then I could just pick them up if they're unconscious or something and take them to my place. Yeah, this is getting weird. So if you remember, one of the ways that the girls got the Rowdy Rough Boys to go away was by kissing them. But you know, these boys are little. They didn't get destroyed by getting kissed. When they got kissed, they were grossed out because they thought that all of the girls had cooties. So they just ran away, and that was kind of the end of Mojo Jojo's plan right there. Now the other theory I found about the boys is that they're a symbol of anger within all of the Powerpuff Girls. That's why they look almost identical to them and behave similarly, just basically a little bit more violent than those girls are, is because they're basically just a symbol of the girls being pissed off. Now this is starting to get into the bad characters of the show, like the antagonists. So there was Mojo Jojo, Rowdy Rough Boys, and there's also this character called Mommy Dearest. Mommy Dearest is actually the stepmom of the girls, or the scientist's new girlfriend. Basically the reason that she's evil is because she makes the girls steal and do chores and overall just things that they don't want to do. So they perceive her as being a villain. Now Fuzzy Lumpkin is basically just kind of this weird neighbor guy who really liked to play pranks on the girls and just kind of tease them. He never had a problem with them. He wasn't trying to be mean, but that's how the little girls perceived it. So he was just kind of more on the weird side, and he just liked to pick on him a little bit. He was just a neighbor who was a little bit odd and really liked to screw with the girls. Not screw, okay? That was my job. Now if you remember, there's also this group of kids called the Green Gang. They are basically just a bunch of weird looking kids who had green skin. They were basically just the older kids around the neighborhood, you know, junior high, high school, just the older kids where when you were young and you went to the park, you were like, oh my god, I don't want to be here, there's big kids there. Those guys. So, you know, the Green Gang met the little girls, and the little girls were messing with them, playing with them, and they're like, alright, we'll just go with it. They just kind of went along with their games, whatever stories the girls said, and they let the little girls beat them up. But to the Powerpuff Girls, it was all real. Nothing was imaginary. But to the Green Gang, they were just like, alright, you foiled our plans again, you know, just however you play with a little kid. Unless you're that weird uncle or stepbrother, then that's not how they played with them. Now these next two parts of the theory are actually my favorites because I feel like they're the most realistic. Now there was this bad guy named Him. He was one of the more evil villains that the girls thought of. Him is actually the little girl's uncle. He's actually brothers with their father. And the reason that he's evil to them is because he's a homosexual. And the scientist or the professor or whatever you call him, he was extremely against homosexuality. So he told the girls that he was just basically this evil person, and which is actually, if you think about it, really messed up to put that in a kid's cartoon. But that's also why it's kind of my favorite part, is it's extremely realistic, because if you remember it, the girls basically perceived him as the devil, which a lot of people say that any homosexuals are going to hell. Don't ask me. And the devil is just kind of a symbol of evil anyway, and he basically just described his brother like, you know, he's evil, you need to stay away from him. Also, if you look at the character, Him wore a lot of feminine clothes, like a lot of drag. So that also could have pointed towards the fact that he was gay. And the reason he was called Him was because the Powerpuff Girls' father just didn't want him to have any part in the girls' lives. So whenever he would refer to his brother, he referred to him as Him instead of his real name. Now this next part is a little bit more predictable. It's about the mayor. The mayor is basically just their grandpa, and he just kind of plays with the girls like, you know, the Green Gang does, except he does it in a good way. Because he's their grandpa, they know the grandpa, and they just know that he's a nice guy. So, like, he'll just call them, he'll be like, hey, I need help, like, you guys should come over and protect me from whatever, this evil guy. So that's just basically what they did. Because, you know, if you're a grandfather, if you're a normal uncle or aunt or grandma, you know, etc., basically just a family member, and you have a little relative, you're going to just kind of go along with their games, whether you're pretending to be the bad guy or the good guy, which he was just kind of basically a good guy. And he was really small, too. I feel like that definitely makes a lot of sense. So yeah guys, that's basically the whole theory. That was by far one of the more interesting theories that I've read. I think I like it a little bit more than Ed, Edd and Eddy, probably my second to Rugrats. Basically they just perceived their neighborhood as a place they had to protect. Their father was a scientist, and people around the neighborhood played different roles in their imaginary land, whether it be a bad guy or a good guy. So at the end of the day, the girls did not have superpowers, and even if they went there, they could not have stopped that guy at Sandy Hook. That would have been a rude awakening for their imaginary land. Alright guys, like I said, that is the end of the video. I want to thank you a ton for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed it. Like I said earlier, I hope the conspiracy theories are a reason you're subscribing, but not the only reason. I hope you're also looking to see some original content being thrown your way. So if you liked the video, please throw a like my way, leave a comment, leaving a suggestion for another conspiracy theory, because I want to do what you guys want to see, so I definitely take your comments into consideration, and subscribe if you want to see more of them. I've also got 2 more videos in my conspiracy theory playlist which you can feel free to watch. Thanks again, I love you all, and stay fresh.